Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Your boy is back with the Sports Podcast. I'm your host. Here with my boys, Flipside and Walletop. What's going on, gentlemen?
Not much, man. Another cold day. Like we're closing in on winter.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
cold day here as Christmas approaches. Like 40, like actually high 30s here in Florida. Yeah, so I can't imagine how cold it is up there or in Cali. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm sure the weather's feeling a lot better than some team seasons. But yeah, we'll go ahead from there.
Yeah, definitely. And shoot, here we just had a blizzard in Virginia, where I live. We got 12 to 14 inches of snow over the weekend, and the snow plows are just now getting to us. But yeah, everybody's gearing up for Christmas. Everybody's gearing, and hopefully, most teams are gearing up for the playoffs. Some more than others. Some are gearing up for the offseason. But that's exactly what we're about to talk about. We're going to get into our recap of last week, our predictions for Week 15, and we're going to talk about the playoff picture. All right. First of all, game of the week, gentlemen. For game of the week for Week 14, what did you guys have it as? I had it as this Kansas City versus Baltimore. That was my game of the week.
Yeah, I think Kansas City versus Baltimore might have been one of mine, but I think Steelers versus Raiders was a pretty good ending too, man. And
Uh,
Eagles Cowboys.
yeah, yeah,
There was a lot of good games.
yeah,
There was a lot of really good games this week. This might have been I don't know. I would say probably maybe the most memorable week. I would think in terms of just how many close games there were, and then the implications for teams losing. I think this might have been like the best week, at least in my memory so far this season. Like so many games went down to the wire.
yeah.
That Philly Dallas game was terrific. That crazy. Dallas came on at the end of the fourth quarter, and an OT. Yeah, you like you said, Cliff, or I'm sorry, I think that Chiefs Ravens game was remarkable. Yeah, and then obviously the end of that Dolphins Patriots game was insane. I
Yeah.
mean, anytime a lateral thing, anytime a lateral like pulls off at the end, like I think the last lateral that I remember that was succeeded was like I thought it was the Saints
Yeah.
a long ass time ago, and then they missed the extra point. It's just out of the game. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the last time it actually
But,
worked.
yeah, I'll agree. I think the Chiefs Ravens would probably be that just because it just showed again we all kind of I think we all kind of sniffed an upset, and that's definitely what the Ravens were on the verge of. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think that performance from Mahomes to kind of not only just steal the win, I think kind of maybe solidified his probable MVP season.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now for the most improved of the week. This was actually kind of a toughie for me. Can you all right, have we ever done a team before? Have we ever done a team who was the most improved, the team that lost? Has that ever happened before?
Like a bowl victory.
Yeah, have we ever done it? Yeah, we've never done that before where we gave a team that was most improved who actually lost.
We got to get that there. It's not out the question, man. You can go for it, man.
Hmm. Well,
I mean, who would you give that to? With the Ravens? I mean, I don't. Or I mean,
well, yeah, I wanted to give it to the Ravens for most improved team, even though they lost. But I mean, shoot, my most improved team who actually won was Miami, and they won in the. And like I said, didn't I say last week how Miami always has New England's number at home?
yeah, you did.
Yeah. So there's no debating that. I mean,
You're right.
yeah,
No, Miami does. Miami for some reason like Brady kryptonite is South Beach.
yeah,
You know how LeBron takes his talents to South Beach back in 2012. Brady
yeah.
doesn't take his talents. Although Brady actually had a really big game, and he's not the reason they lost. For some reason, Brady doesn't take his wins to South Beach. So he's going to sum that up.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, who are you fellas team most improved of the week?
was gonna agree with you on that Ravens team until I remembered that they gave up 2 fourth down plays.
Oh my God! And Lamar Jackson, he was out for the game with the injury. So yeah.
And that fumble Mahomes had, where he basically laid the ball on the ground for him, and they all just like jumped past him. I was like, come on.
That's some Madden shit. That was like some Madden shit you see.
Yeah, that was terrible, man. So I can get what you're saying. The Ravens did play them really well. I was expecting them to win actually that game. They should have won. But I'm going with the most improved being I'm gonna say the Browns.
Oh yeah.
Browns have been pretty surprising to me, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, they just get better and better each week, and the teams that we expect them to have,
lose.
you know,
Yeah.
games they lose to, they kind of come out winners. So, I mean,
Yeah. All right, Walter, what about you? Who's your most improved team of the week?
Yeah, next to the Browns, I mean that they did look good. I mean they've got 5 wins this year. That's insane for a team that really had no wins in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's very impressive for that organization. You know what? I'm gonna say the Seahawks.
Oh yeah.
I think the Seahawks at home, basically almost pushing a shutout, except for the end of the game with the Vikings.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect the Vikings to put up some points. Yeah. I mean, the Seahawks defense has always. People look at the Seahawks as potentially being washed up because of the players that aren't there anymore, and the age and the age maybe showing, and the whole overall team of not having the caliber of players like Lynch in his prime and all that, but they've definitely come on in the last couple of weeks, and this defense was phenomenal. Against a team that has weapons and Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, like you have two perfect receiving tandem, and then you have Dalvin Cook to mention, and Kyle Randolph. I thought you would you be able to throw some points, but again, Seahawks were phenomenal in that game, defensively especially. So I would say, I would look at that as my most improved team to have a really, really impressive victory at home, and I think they are maybe a dark horse in there. I think along the same lines with Dallas.
Oh yeah. People really are sleeping on the Seahawks. They really are. There's no question about that. And now, for the choke of the week. I don't know who to give it to. And they're 2 AFC juggernauts. And ironically, they go up against each other this week. And we both know who they are. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. Oh man. Okay, guys, who do y'all give it to? Because see, here's the problem. This is the problem that I got with the Pittsburgh Steelers. For the past 3 weeks, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they always find some kind of way to choke. The football gods must have been looking out for the Raiders that day, because I don't know if y'all guys seen it, but Chris Boswell, his field goal kick was not blocked. He slipped, and it went into the back of the center's head. And how the hell, if you're Bill Belichick, why the hell do you put Rob Gronkowski in as your last line of defense and not a safety? That's an easy move. That's an easy tackle. It's like, what the hell are you doing? But, I mean, those are my 2 nominees for the choke of the week. But, yeah, Toby is like, man, the Steelers easy. But, yeah, but the thing is, for the past 3 weeks, the Steelers have let 3 games slip away. And it's not a coincidence. It's always by 6 points or less. So in the past 2 games, it's been, by 6 points or less. But, yeah, Flip, who's your choke of the week for this week?
I'm going to give the Steelers the benefit of the doubt here because you guys didn't have James Conner.
Oh, I mean, still, that's the game you should run away with. Losing to a 2-10 team is no excuse. I don't give a damn if they are on the road.
The previous week, I said that the Raiders played the Chiefs tough. I was too surprised that they played you guys tough too. But the Patriots, man, you can't lose on a Music City Miracle.
Yeah.
And Gronk keeps locking up on him when he should have made that tackle. Like a funny.
Gronk's not a tackler though.
By default.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, Gronk is 6'5", 240. So yeah, he's got linebacker size. So I mean, yeah, I see what you mean. But yeah, those are my two nominees. But yeah, Walter Todd, what about you? Who's your choke of the week this week?
My choke of the week, I would say, that should be almost co-MVP. The coach of the week with Pittsburgh and New England. That's pretty hard to. Again, I expected that that the Pittsburgh might. Because again, I felt like Derek Carr was maybe starting to turn things around, starting to play a little bit better the last couple weeks, and he had a pretty decent showing against that secondary, and I kind of thought that might happen, but I still thought Pittsburgh offensively would just still show up and blow them out.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't, and again, they had a chance to tie it there at the end, and that the kicker slipping. Someone must have laid a banana peel there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened. But yeah, you're right. That wasn't really. I guess you know what, the Patriots, the way they lined up with having Gronk out there and like six DBs and like only like a 4-man rush.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whenever there's like a Hail Mary opportunity or just like a last play where you need like a couple of pitches, a couple laterals, always blitz the quarterback. I'll never give them time to sit back there and just line up. It doesn't hurt to come in with 5, to come in with 6 maybe, as long as you got about five guys back there. You don't need to have six DBs and Gronk back there. And you're right, Gronk's there for maybe a jump ball, but they weren't even in range for a Hail Mary. So I don't know why Gronk was out there. Gronk's not an agile man.
Yeah.
He basically Kenyon Drake caught an angle around Gronk. Gronk lumbered after him because he couldn't beat the angle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're right. It was a fail on the Patriots' part. It was a wasted game by Brady. Brady had a pretty really strictly like one of his best games here, and it was all for naught. So the Dolphins have the number in Miami yet again. But yeah, I'll give it to the Patriots. They lost. Their defense is still kind of reckless. And Miami, I think, averaged 9 yards of play against that defense. It's definitely not Bill Belichick like. It doesn't really go well for the Super Bowl chances.
Yeah. And this does change the whole landscape for the AFC conference because the teams who have top seeds all lost this week, except for Houston, I believe. But yeah, Houston did lose. Yeah. But yeah,
the Chargers won though.
Yeah, the Chargers did win. Yeah, but yeah, to add insult to injury, for the Pittsburgh Steelers lost. They lost to a 2-10 team, and they got swept by the AFC West. That's painful. Yeah. Yeah.
Roethlisberger is like 0-4 in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Right? I think I saw that. He hasn't won that. It's the only AFC team he has not beaten on the road.
Yeah, pretty much. In the past decade. Literally the last time we won was 10 years ago at Oakland.
And it's a couple crazy things, like both Roethlisberger having that poor success or poor record. And I guess I'll think a stat like with the Patriots. Like this is like the first time in a season that I think the Belichick Brady era that they lost to 14 in a season with the 4 losses not being against the playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
So they've lost to the Dolphins. They lost to the Dolphins, who right now are not lined to make the playoffs. They lost to the Jaguars, who aren't going to make it. The Lions probably not going to make it.
Yeah.
And the Titans, where the Titans probably also not going to make it. So you don't really ever see that with that organization having those losses in a season to just non-teams that aren't relevant.
Yeah. Well, all right. Anyway, let's go. Speaking of the AFC West, our predictions for Week 15. Wow, fellas, season's almost over. Yeah, we got the Thursday night game between the LA Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, as good as Kansas City is, like we're starting to see more and more chinks in their armor as the week as the weeks go on and then going into the playoffs. And hopefully they get these little things cleaned up because a lot of people are going to start looking at them. They're going to start targeting Patrick Mahomes because they know he doesn't really have any playoff experience. And playoff football is different. It's like you're one and done. Every single play you make is a fourth down play. Now, Kansas City, they are offensively, they are a juggernaut. But the thing is, and Patrick Mahomes, he's good with scrambling. But the thing, he's been good outside of the pocket. But it's like if you can get him on a 3-man rush, or if you can, bust up his protection, then yeah, he will throw a sloppy ball every once in a while. But Kansas City's running game, regardless of who's starting at the run game, Kansas City's running game is always good, and their run blocking is always good. It's just if you can get to Mahomes and disrupt the pass, then you got a little bit of a better chance. Kansas City's defense is starting to look a little bit better too. Sure, they can miss some tackles. The secondary can miss some tackles. But still, they are solid nonetheless. Now, as far as the Chargers go, the Chargers, they don't really have any bearing strengths, but they don't really have any particular weaknesses either. They're one of those teams who are well balanced, and it depends on the competition as far as to how they play. But Kansas City's at home in this game, and Phillip Rivers, he's been looking good this year. He's been one of those quiet guys, but a lot of people say he's a potential MVP candidate. Phillip Rivers, he works with what he's got. He's got pretty damn good weapons, but his main weapon is Keenan Allen. It's been working for him for the past few weeks. And like I said, the Chargers defense is pretty solid. But, despite what I've seen from both teams, even though the Chargers didn't win last week, at home, I like Kansas City just a little bit better. Give me Kansas City by 6 points, 27-21 over the Chargers. Flip, what about you?
This is going to be a weird game for me, man. We might have Melvin Gordon back, which is going to be huge for this game because Austin Eckler is out with concussion. Tyreek Hill has a foot injury, but I doubt that's going to really affect him because I think it's a heel injury, so it's not really too big when he's running on his toes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I expect Mahomes to Tyreek Hill for 300 yards or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really George Kittle. Yeah, he's going to have a George Kittle game. I hope that we game planned really well for them. We definitely have more game tape than we did at the beginning of the season. So I hope that we don't do what the Steelers did to us in the first quarter of that game and just have one-on-one with AD.
Yeah.
And have that can't happen with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, definitely not.
But like you were saying, Patrick Mahomes has definitely shown some weaknesses over the last few weeks. I think our secondary can exploit it. Our pass rush just needs to start stepping up a bit, and I think we can go toe to toe with them on offense. I think we have the pieces. Their defense isn't really that scary. I think Eric Berry might be back, but that could be a problem.
Hopefully, Eric Berry does come back.
I think if no one plays, I think it's going to be a really close game, and I'm just going to go with the bias pick and say Chargers win 31-28.
That's a close win. But all right, Walter, who you got? Bolts or Chargers? Not Bolts, Chargers, but Chiefs or Chargers? Yeah, Chargers are the Bolts. But anyway.
I know what you meant. This is going to be a really close game. There are a couple of things I give the edge to for the Chiefs just because of some of the injuries the Chargers have, both Melvin Gordon. I think they're on their third string now potentially running back. But they didn't have Bosa in the first game, and he's playing now, so I think that's obviously could affect anything in the blitzing that they can go at the Chiefs. That could pick up Mahomes a little bit. But you're right. We have seen a couple of chinks in the Chiefs' armor as of late. They had a close game with the Raiders and a close game with the Ravens. I don't know if that's so much because of the lack of the running back, lack of Kareem Hunt. I don't know, but Mahomes again needs to be stepping up.
Yeah, because Kareem Hunt really did take the pressure off of Mahomes. He really did.
He did. And again, I mean, they've shown they can win without him, but again, there's been close games these last 2 weeks. And it was a close game with, the Raiders and Ravens. I put the Chargers up above those teams. Obviously, it's going to be the best team that Chiefs have faced since the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And Chiefs aren't exactly at full strength. So, this is at the Chiefs' home. Again, it's hard to pick against them. They have not lost at home yet. That stadium's going to be loud, especially with what's on the line right now. So
yeah.
This is almost the number 1 seed on the line right now. So if the Chargers can win this game, they'll have a chance. I don't know what tie-breaking rules because it's split. If the Chargers win this game, I don't know if that puts the Chargers up above them.
Yeah.
I don't know who has more AFC wins. I have to look at it.
I think there's that up to the Broncos, but they still have
Okay, so the Chiefs would still have the edge.
Yeah.
Divisionally.
The Chargers have some momentum, but I'm going to go with the home pick just because it's the home pick, and the Chargers don't have Melvin Gordon right now, so I don't know if I can fully. And Philip Rivers did have a really good game against them early in the season, but without Melvin Gordon, I just don't think they'll be able to get bang against the offense. Give me the Chiefs in a high-scoring game. I'll say Chiefs 30, 38, Chargers 31.
All right. Next up, we got the Houston Texans going up against the New York Jets at home. This is interesting because the Jets defense has come alive yet again, and Houston, they're kind of reeling off of that loss on Sunday. But still, I mean, even though that doesn't make the Texans any less dangerous because of all the weapons they got, and Deshaun Watson, he's got wheels. But I mean, that D-line is going to have Watson on his toes for all 60 minutes. They don't really have much of an offense. They just don't have much of an offense, but I mean, still, like, at least the defense can get them in good enough position to where they can score. Hopefully, they can get them within like the 30 or 40-yard line, on field goals and stuff like that. But I mean, we'll see about that. Like I said, but Houston got a lot of weapons, a lot of go-to guys they have on offense. They have a good running game. Their passing game is very, very threatening. And Deshaun Watson, he's a dual-threat quarterback. He got some wheels on him. But the thing is, the Jets are 50-50 at home. You never really know which New York Jets team that you're going to get at home. And right now, Houston is a high-caliber team. They're in the top 3 seeds in the AFC right now. So go ahead and give me the Houston Texans by 10 points over the Jets, 31-21. Wazatov, who you got? Jets, Texans.
Yeah, I got the Texans in a blowout. That is a tough loss to the Colts. That was kind of a flip. That happened. They were on a pretty high winning streak in 9 games. But in this game, I think they bounced back. I don't really see anything the Jets do that impressed me that would warrant them at all shaking up the Texans. I think the Texans can win any style of play, whether they want to resort to Lamar Miller running it or they want to resort to carrying it out. I don't really see any sort of simulation or any sort of scenario where the Jets actually pull off an upset victory. I think the Texans break the ship. I think they take care of business. I'm going to say even on the road, Texans win this pretty handily. I'll say Texans 28, Jets 14.
All right, Flip, what about you? Texans, Jets.
Yeah, I got to go with the Texans here. I think the Jets, like all 3 of their running backs, are questionable to play right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold is just in a bad spot right now. He needs some more time to get used to playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
His receivers are all right. He's got a new one, Robbie Anderson, but with the Texans defense, he's not going to have a lot of time to focus on that hockey. And I don't have a lot of hope in him. Even if the Texans offense is kind of looking funny right now, they can easily beat Jets. So I'm going to say Texans win 24-13.
All right. Next up, we got this game should be very, very interesting. We got the Cleveland Browns going on the road to Mile High against the Denver Broncos. Oh man, Cleveland has looked pretty damn good, and Denver has looked solid. But I mean, the thing is, they're so far behind the AFC conference picture, they're not going to go anywhere. But they can still finish. They can still finish out the season pretty strong, or a whole bunch of miracle crap has happened for them to get the fifth or the sixth seed. But still, I mean, Case Keenum, he's made it work with Denver. Sure, there's a couple of miscues with them, but still, I mean, there's nothing they can't handle. I mean, he's got the weapons. It's just that he needs time. He's had the time just to get used to them, but still, I mean, there's still a couple of miscues there. And Denver's defense is always solid, always dangerous. But it's just that the secondary is not as good as it used to be. Cleveland, I got to give Cleveland props because Cleveland came back. I mean, thing is, they really do have potential, even though they haven't made the postseason since 2006, I believe, 2006, something like that. Yeah, it's been about a decade and some change since they made the postseason. But I mean, they're not going to make it this year, but still, they can also finish out pretty strong too. Cleveland's defense, I mean, they look solid. Baker Mayfield actually does know what the hell he's doing, and that running game, that running game saves the Chiefs' ass a lot. I mean, it saves the Cleveland Browns' ass a lot. But yeah, this could be a very, very close, tight-knit game. But Mile High Stadium, it might be a different animal because Cleveland doesn't go there that often. This is a game that you don't really see that often. But I mean, it's the one that I'm definitely going to tune into on Saturday night. Go ahead and give me Denver by 6 points. Yeah, 6 points. 28-22. Yeah. Flip, what about you? Browns, Broncos. Who you got?
I'm gonna have to say thanks to the Steelers and the Ravens losing both of their games. The Browns, they have a chance to make the playoffs, man.
Yeah. The Steelers have to lose out, and the Browns. Yeah, the Steelers have got to lose out. The Ravens got to lose 3.
They're playing the Patriots and Saints, man. That's very possible.
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna get to that later.
But yeah, I think that's momentum for the Browns, man. I feel like they're kind of riding that high right now. And if they could beat the Broncos, to beat the Steelers, I think that's even a bigger momentum boost for them. So they're probably going to go into this game playing really hard. Chris Harris Jr. still, I think he's out for the season. So Jarvis Landry should probably cook in this game. They just got cooked by Kittle, so David Njoku is an athletic tight end. He could cook them the same way. So we could definitely Baker getting some good throws out there. They obviously have Nick Chubb back there. He's looking like a Rookie of the Year candidate. I'm riding the Browns in this one, man.
Really? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
The Broncos are kind of falling apart. Coleman Sutton, who might not play this week, so they're kind of down on receivers. Philip Lindsay, he still plays hard, but it's not looking so good for that Broncos team right now. So I'm gonna say the Browns win this 20-21.
All right. Walter Todd, what about you? Browns, Broncos, who you got?
So, yeah, a little after some great wins for the Broncos, both at the Chargers and at home against the Steelers, they lay an egg against San Francisco. Completely unexpected. Obviously, it took a Herculean, like a Superman performance by George Kittle.
Yeah.
To kind of help beat them, but there were a lot of other things about that. It wasn't just George Kittle beating them through the air. They let this guy Jeff Wilson, who I didn't know was on our roster, run for almost another 100 yards on him. The Niners iced Philip Lindsay, who was in line for potential Rookie of the Year consideration. So I think Broncos kind of fell back to earth a little bit. Again, I found the Browns more exciting to me, just on paper and what I think they're capable of doing going into this matchup than the Broncos. I could definitely see Nick Chubb having a hell of a game. Again, like Flip says, they're athletic tight ends. going to happen to the Broncos. In Mile High, it's going to be a little close because of that. That is definitely an advantage. So I'll make this quick. I do have a question for you guys. So I'll say the Browns are going to win this game. Win an upset. I'll say Browns 23, Broncos 20. Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
So we're almost through this season right here with obviously Case Keenum playing out the season, and Kirk Cousins almost playing out the season with his new team.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think made out better?
Cousins or
the Vikings with Kirk Cousins, or do you think they would have preferred that Case Keenum guy?
Oh, definitely. Well, man, that's a hard question.
It depends on how much they got to pay Keenum.
Yeah, I think the Vikings probably would have been better off with Keenum. Yeah, they'd have been better off with Keenum, to me.
Yeah, I don't think Kirk Cousins really brought anything to that offense.
Yeah. Hell, if you ask me, the Broncos should have kept Brock Osweiler because he was the future of that team. But, I mean, hey, what the hell do I know? But, yeah, I mean, as far as Keenum was a better fit for the Vikings than, because, I mean, when you go from an AFC team to NFC, from an NFC team to AFC team, it's just a tad different. But, yeah, Keenum was a better fit than Cousins was.
Yeah, and I'll be the first to admit, I thought that the Kirk Cousins signing was a good thing. I thought it was, what the Vikings needed to take them over the edge, but I'll admit I was completely wrong after this season. Like it's been a waste. Kirk Cousins hasn't done anything for that offense. And you're right, guys. I think the Vikings would have been better off. They would have kept, paid a little bit of money. That's someone that knows the offense of the team. It would have been a lot different, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we got NFC North matchup. The Green Bay Packers going to Soldier Field against the Chicago Bears. And bravo to the Bears. Wow, I mean, wow. Shutting out. I didn't expect. Man, I'm still lost for words. I did not expect that for them to give the Rams all they can handle. Bravo. I mean, I really didn't expect that. Chicago could be dangerous going into the NFC. Wow. I mean, but yeah. Anyway, Flip, who you got? Packers Bears at Soldier Field.
Yeah, bravo to the Bears. They almost lost me my fantasy playoff week. Definitely bravo to them. But yeah, man. This is a weird one because the Packers, I feel like they did decently in their last game. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he got Randall Cobb back. He had Devontae Adams up there. They had a decent game, but it was weird seeing them go off of Aaron Jones and start off with Ty Montgomery in their running game. So I'm kind of iffy about that. I think their new coaching setup is kind of weird now. I don't like it, especially against the Bears team that just shut out the number one offense or number two offense in the league. So, yeah, I'm betting against Aaron Rodgers this week. Khalil Mack might injure him again for all we know.
Yikes.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Bears in this one, especially with Trubisky back. So,
yeah.
I'm gonna say Bears win 20. Actually, I'm gonna say 20. Yeah, 27 to 23. Yeah, that's all right.
All right, Walter, what about you? Packers Bears.
Yeah, I would definitely say momentum and how they look off the Bears. Definitely in this game. The Packers, I mean, Aaron Rodgers has playing he's had a pretty solid season. Not as the Packers have seen in the past, but I mean, the man doesn't really make many mistakes. He's only thrown one interception all year.
Yeah.
And he's damn near about to have one of the best touchdown interception ratios of all time. If he can avoid anything else the rest of the season. But the Bears, man, they look phenomenal defensively against that squad. The Rams Sunday night. That was a terrific game. At least all the defensive plays that were made on both sides of the football. Both were on display. Bears did look. I mean, again, that head coach. I mean, he's doing some things. he's doing some things with that team. Like I like some of the plays they run, the good plays. It seems like they had a lot of unorthodox. Like they had that touchdown to the offensive lineman in that game. It's like they definitely come up with innovative like ways of scoring. Meanwhile, I mean, like I said, I said last week, you know, I was curious to see if the Packers were going to have a big game after firing their head coach, and they did.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that team is loose now, if they're more liberated, if Rodgers is more like, you know, free without having the burden of, you know, coach he maybe didn't like. But I think the Bears, everything just leans the Bears, because the Bears are going to want to get revenge after that opening game. You know, they're in Soldier Field. I think they're just going to have the biggest chip on their shoulder, and they can smell blood in the water. They potentially could maybe still get a first round bye. They can maybe catch up maybe the Rams. It's very possible. So I'm gonna say the Bears win this game. Give me the Bears 24. I'll say Packers 14.
Yeah, this is going to be another one of those, you know, rough, ground and pound, grind it out kind of games. Because I mean, let's face it, this is one of the classics. So, you know, I like these kind of matchups. It's just that the Packers, I mean, they've been on the downtrack lately. I mean, this has just not been their year. At the beginning of the season, I actually did pick them to win the North, with the Bears as a close second. But yeah, I mean, people wrote Mitchell Trubisky off, but he's really shown that he belongs here. He really does show that he does belong with the Bears, and he belongs in that postseason this year. And he's made it work. I mean, with a lot of those weapons that he's got on offense, and the Bears defense is starting to get back to where they were, because the Bears defense is always known to be very, very feared. Now, even though there's some missing pieces to the puzzle in Green Bay right now, that doesn't make them any less dangerous, because as long as you got Aaron Rodgers, you got a chance. It's just that secondary for the Packers, I don't trust, and they haven't been the same recently. I mean, but like I said, this is a Soldier Field. It's classic December football. It's going to be cold, it's going to be dark, and it's going to be, you know, hard hitting football, and you can't really ask for much more than that. Go ahead and give me Chicago by 7 points this game, 28-21 over Green Bay. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions going on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Flip, who you got? Lions, Bills.
Lions look like a mess.
Yeah, they do.
Oh man, their offense is in shambles. The Bills actually look pretty damn good, man. Josh Allen's out there running on everyone. I think he just broke Mike Vick's record.
Yeah.
For most rushing yards in 3 games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so nobody's found a way to stop him. He lost LaShawn McCoy and Chris Ivory, though. That might hurt him a lot in the running game. The passing game looks fine. They've been utilizing all their receivers. I think Robert Foster, David McKenzie, Dave Jones. So, I mean, he's getting comfortable with the passing attack, especially with Kelvin Benjamin gone, I guess. That was his breaking point. So, I'm going to have to go with the Bills here. I feel like he can outplay the Lions. I think it'll be close, maybe. I don't know how this Lions team is going to play with. I think Bruce Ellington might be out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Galladay's not Calvin Johnson, so
definitely not.
Can't just throw it after the triple coverage.
Yeah, and they miss a Golden Tate. They really do miss Golden Tate.
Yeah, they're definitely missing Golden Tate right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Bills winning this. I'm gonna say 27-20.
All right. Walter Todd, who you got? Lions, Bills.
Yeah, both teams, not really. Not my favorite playoffs is going for maybe draft positioning. The Lions, of course, were kind of disappointing. I'm not sure, what the status is with, with Stafford. I'm not sure how he's playing in terms of how he's going to look against this Bills team that, minus the hiccup again, last week and Dolphins the previous week. Josh Allen looks pretty phenomenal. Just running the ball, it's just different. It's just very unexpected for sure. With his 4 combine numbers, I didn't expect that to have that kind of leg work. He seems to have a good connection with Zay Jones. It's a toss-up for me. I'm not really interested in his game. I mean, just to see if Josh Allen gets back 100 yards again, that's kind of my only interest in this whatsoever. The Lions have been disappointing. I mean, I could flip a coin. Really, it's almost really hard to pick. You can make a case, create a team, and I wouldn't really think against it. I think the Bills are favored slightly by a field goal, so I'll pick the Bills by a field goal. I'll say Bills 20, Lions 17.
Well, gentlemen, looks like we have a hat trick because, I mean, you guys pretty much said it all. Like, there's literally no sense of direction over there in Detroit. I mean, and it doesn't make sense because they actually got a lot of talent, a lot of potential. But it's just like, I don't know what it is. There's something missing, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is, but they're missing something. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's I don't know. I just don't know. Whatever it is, they need to fix it in the off season. They'll have plenty of time to do that. And yeah, I mean, you guys are right. Buffalo, I mean, they seem to have just a little spark. They seem to have gotten it together recently, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And if they can just keep doing that, I mean, they'll be all right. But I mean, let's be real. They're not going anywhere this year. But this is probably going to be another one of those, low-scoring, grinded-out games too. Kind of like the Chicago Bears game last week. But I think it's going to be just a little bit high-scoring than that. But yeah, I've got Buffalo by a field goal in this game too. Go ahead and give me Buffalo 20-17 over Detroit. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Bucks going up against the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium. Yeah, M&T Bank Stadium. Yep, Baltimore's at home this game. Flip, who you got? Bucks, Ravens.
Oh man, Patrick Mahomes struggles against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston is about to get destroyed.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson's not playing. They have Mike Evans, Brayton, Godwin still, but
RG3 is going to be starting though. I think RG3 is starting this game, and he hasn't started.
Oh, because Lamar Jackson got hurt.
Yeah, leg hurt. But yeah, Joe Flacco's not.
Surprised if Flacco plays. Because he was active in that last game. I don't know why he didn't play. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
The coach said he might play this game, depending on how he says, but he could be a part of the game.
Yeah, this is gonna. I mean, but if RG3 does start, this is gonna be his first start in 2 years.
RG3 is about to play so many kicks, man. I was frustrated.
But he's got wheels, though, man. The thing is, he just needs time again, just to get his footing back. I mean, RG3's always been fast, and he's always got wheels. He just needs to work on his throwing accuracy again.
If he plays, he definitely needs to show up. He's got to get a spot somewhere on these teams, man. Jags look like they need help.
Mm-hmm.
So many teams need help, man. If RG3 plays, I don't have a lot of hope in the Ravens. If Flacco plays, I have more hope. Either way, I think their defense is going to be enough to keep them in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis, I don't know, man. I don't really trust Jameis too much, man. He's too pick heavy. They played the same card, but I feel like that was a division game. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to say the Ravens defense dominates this game. Ravens win 23-14.
All right. Walter, who you got? Bucks, Ravens.
I think there's definitely a potential for a lot of pick sixes in this game. I think Winston will definitely give them up. They definitely play the same tough for a little while. And I was definitely thought at the top, the Saints lose this game. This is ridiculous because they should have blown them out. But I'll definitely probably say, no matter the quarterback, even if it was RG3, I would still say the Ravens, just the way that they're designed, just with the run heaviness and that defense. I think they give a lot of teams problems. and they just went toe to toe with the Chiefs. Definitely do not pose a threat. Even if the mantra any given Sunday is true, I'm still going to pick the Ravens 99 times out of 100 against this Bucs team right now. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. Give me the Ravens. I'll say 24 to the Bucs 10.
All right. It also doesn't help the Bucs that the Ravens are actually at home in this game and 10 exactly pretty. The Fitzmagic wagon for the first. Now people are relying on Jameis Winston again. Against this Baltimore defense, he's going to be like, well, it really if it comes down to the battle of the quarterbacks, I do trust RG3 and Joe Flacco more over Jameis Winston just because of the experience factor. And even if Lamar Jackson does, if he does shake off this injury, I mean, he's still might be a better quarterback than Jameis Winston. And Jameis Winston, I mean, he doesn't have the weapons that he had, so he's hurt. He's crippled even more. And Tampa Bay's defense has been playing soft, all damn year. So it's like, really, what more can they do? Now, if the Ravens actually just come out there and stink up the place, which I doubt because they're at home, and then the Bucs got a chance. But I just don't see that happening. But go ahead and give me Baltimore by 10 points in this game, 24-14 over Tampa Bay.
Quick note. This is completely unrelated to football. Y'all see the picture of Robert Griffin, like the player profile picture, and his haircut.
Oh yeah.
His haircut is the purple braids for Baltimore.
Yeah. That's funny.
I just noticed that. I was pulling them up. I got the game here ahead of me. A couple things. First, I didn't realize that. I don't know if that's like he did that because of team colors. I don't know if he did that because he just likes to color purple. I'm not sure what's funnier. He did it because of the team colors, but if he was with like the Bengals, you have orange braids, like that'd be wild.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize he was born in Japan.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize he was born in Japan. You guys know that?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I never did that.
Yeah, I knew he was born overseas. Yeah.
I had no idea he was born in Japan. That's so crazy. But I digress. Carry on. Those are the two little side notes. Completely unrelated to football, but I thought I'd mention.
Yeah. I'm actually glad you did mention that. But yeah, anywho, next up we got the Arizona Cardinals going on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. Flip, who you got? Cards, Falcons.
Oh man, I feel like the Cardinals are. I don't know. I feel like they beat the Packers, and they're like, hey, we're good enough, and they're going to decide to tank now. So
yeah. It's not that they have anything to lose.
It might be tank time for the Cardinals. Or either that or the Lions just played them really hard. But either way, I feel like the Falcons defense and Duke Sampson, Christian Kirk is out for the Cardinals. So I think it's like a Larry left on that season. It just feels like one of those scenarios where the Cardinals are tanking for a good pick. So I'd say Falcons win 27-10.
All right. Walletov, who you got? Cards, Falcons.
Yeah, I just think there's more talent on the Falcons side of the ball. I just think Evan Julio might be out. He's got an injury, he's got an injured foot, but I think still with talent side of the ball, there's not really anyone other than David Johnson that was everything on the Cardinals team. They're on the road. I think Josh Rosen versus Matt Ryan. I'm going to take Matt Ryan. I just think it's a pretty easy pick, even with both teams essentially now just kind of maybe shopping for good draft positioning. Rather than doing this just based on their talent, and I don't think that they're going to want to give up. I don't think they're going to want to close out the season playing this poorly. They're give me the Falcons in this. I'll say they take care of business pretty handily. I'll say Falcons 27, Cardinals 13.
Yeah, I guess at this point, both these teams they don't really have that much to play for. They just want to end the season on a high note. Which makes for to say who actually needs this game more. I guess if you're Arizona, you keep losing just so you can get a higher draft pick. If you're Atlanta, you kind of want to win this game just so you can save some kind of face, because I mean you can't go from one of the top 3 seeds in the AFC in the NFC last year to playing horribly. But yeah, I mean offensively and defensively, Arizona, I mean they're the worst team in the league. They don't pose any kind of threat. They only have 1 or 2 weapons, and they're not going to be there forever. So I mean, in Atlanta, as off as Matt Ryan's been playing, and he's still got enough weapons, as far as the receiving core and that running game to, get them by. But go ahead and give me Atlanta by 9 points in this game, 30-21 over Arizona. Next up, this is going to be a very interesting game. We got the Oakland Raiders going up against the Cincinnati Bengals at home. Yeah, the Bengals are home in this game. But yeah, Flip, who you got? Raiders, Bengals.
Battle of the second team now.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know, man. Maybe this might be like a shootout. It doesn't see this being a shootout game. Tyler Boyd and John Ross can make big plays. Joe Mixon's a really good running back. Derek Carr is giving Jarrett took the ball like 20 times a game, and he's making plays. Yeah, I don't know how that Raiders team scores. I'm thinking about it right now. Like, how do they score? But yeah, I can see this being a shootout. I'm gonna say I feel like I like the Raiders passing attack a little more just because Driscoll's car is better. So I'm going to say Raiders win 31-27.
All right. Walzatov, who you got? Do you have Oakland or you got?
Yeah, I think Flip might be honest something. It's just maybe being like a low-key high-scoring game. Because both teams are kind of bad, and there's definitely some weapons, at least weapon or two on both sides of the roster where they can put up the points. Derek Carr's been playing actually pretty well the last couple of weeks, trying to salvage the season a little bit. I'm going to give the edge to the Raiders in this, just on the fact that I think they maybe turned the corner a little bit.
Yeah.
And I give the edge quarterback-wise, at least Derek Carr over Driscoll for the Bengals. Obviously, I guess after the quarterback, Hopefully Nixon's probably the best player on the field, but I don't think he'll be enough for the Bengals to win this game. I think that Carr takes him ahead. I'll say this is probably going to be Raiders 30, Bengals 24.
Now, this game is a coin toss for me. Because, I mean, the thing is that as bad as Oakland has been playing, they still do have some weapons. And come on, their running game isn't as good as it used to be. The level of Cincy, right now. It might come down to turnovers, penalties, a lot of penalties, and coaching mistakes. The Bengals are probably one of the most penalized teams, probably top 5, top 3 most penalized teams in the league, and that's what loses them games. But they're at home, so I don't really think they have to worry too much about that. But, I mean, as always, we'll see. You guys got this as a high-scoring game. I don't really have this game hot as, that much of a high-scoring game. I don't really think both teams will score over 28 points. But going ahead and give me Cincy in this game, 17-10 over Oakland. Next up, we got the Tennessee Titans going on the road against the New York Giants. Now, the New York Giants I mean, these guys are really, really fighting. I don't know what it is with them. They just won't lay down and die. A lot of people, I mean, the thing is, they're still alive for a playoff spot, believe it or not. But they got to have a whole bunch of crazy ass crap happen for for them to go to the playoffs. Tennessee, they're still in the hunt and they can still be dangerous depending on their schedule. But still, I mean, the thing is, Tennessee, I mean, the running game is great. Mariota's good. Um, it's just that Tennessee's defense tends to run out of gas. I mean, their defense plays phenomenal in the first half, but then, as the time goes on, the defense runs out of gas. You can say the same thing about the New York Giants. But, I mean, when you have the Hydra, the three-headed monster known as Eli, Saquon, and Odell Beckham, you always got a chance. Now, even though that the Giants are at home in this game, the Giants are still the underdog. But believe it or not, go ahead and give me the Giants in this game just because Tennessee's been playing soft lately. And the Giants look like they kind of want to have some kind of life going into this, they want to finish out the season strong, even though they know they're not going anywhere. Go ahead and give me the Giants by 3 points over Tennessee, 27-24. Flip, who you got? Giants, Titans.
Oh man, I'm not sure if Odell's playing, so that's going to be a pretty big factor. But I mean, they didn't need him to smoke the Redskins. So,
oh no.
Who knows? If he plays, I'm definitely leaning towards Giants. If he doesn't play, I feel like this could be a decent game. That Titans offense just got hurt real big. I think they just lost a lineman and they lost another tight end for the season. So that could hurt them a lot, actually. Mariota's already been playing bad. Corey Davis he's a good receiver, but I don't know what's going on with that team. The Giants are actually kind of clicking lately. Yeah, I gotta go with the Giants on this one. I don't know, man. They're doing good. They're moving high right now. So, I'm gonna say Giants win this 23-17.
All right. Walter Todd, who you got? Titans, Giants. Oh, he ran all down their throats. My God.
Oh God. And again, it's been like interesting with his career. I was it obviously
he had a Chris Johnson. He had a 2009 Chris Johnson kind of game.
It was a monstrous game against the Jags. And sure enough, he grew up near Jacksonville, up there in Italy actually, which I've actually been to and looked at a little bit. So he comes from definitely small, humble beginnings. It's just good for him to have a career game on prime time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again, he hasn't been a great year for him. Again, of the 9 touchdowns he's had this season, 4 of them were in one game. Ran for 238 yards in one game, but still only at 700 on for the year. So it just remains to be seen how well he'll perform the rest of the year. But you definitely said the right word when it comes to the Giants. I think, Brett, they are feisty. I think they've shown a little more energy, just I don't know, a little more fire as of late. I feel than the Titans have. They've had a couple good wins, both against demolishing the Redskins, even without Odell, and then obviously beat the Bears the week prior. It's weird. I think Eli kind of hanging around. He's kind of just showing enough signs of life to where you might think it's reasonable for them to maybe hang on to Eli for at least one more year just to see what they could do in the season, maybe another year in. With some seasoning in with Saquon. But I'm gonna say the Giants in this game. I just think a little bit momentum how they played the last couple weeks. They had a really good game last week. I don't think mantra.
Mm.
He is the best player on the field. I will go with the Giants in this game. Give me the Giants. I'll say Giants 26, Titans 18.
All right. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins coming off their win against going on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. Flip, who you got? Dolphins, Vikings.
It's Dolphins Vikings.
Yep.
Oh, this Vikings team is gonna just smack the Dolphins all around, man.
You think so? I think it's gonna be close,
yeah,
but I
man.
mean, yeah.
I'm calling a fluke on this Dolphins team. The Patriots defense is just, I don't know, man. They've been bad all season. The Vikings defense at least plays hard, especially against receivers. Their run defense is anything to slouch about. I think Brandon Bolden had like 2 carries for like 60-some yards and 2 touchdowns on the Patriots. So that was out of nowhere. Kenny Stills had his one big game for the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely see the Dolphins regressing this week. The Vikings are definitely pissed.
Oh yeah.
But I could definitely see Kirk Cousins feeling big. Just having a big game. I could see this Vikings defense just shutting out this Dolphins team. I got the Vikings in this one. I'll say 31-17.
All right, Walter, who you got? You got Vikings or you got Miami?
Yeah, Miami hasn't really looked great on the road. They look terrible 1-5. Vikings are 50 solid record 4-0 at home. I think they just fired the offensive coordinator after that terrible showing against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to adopt more of the play calling, so I think that might definitely help in their offense. Maybe get Dalvin Cook involved a lot more, and just I expect them to rebound and have a good game. The playoff spot's still up there for them. So
Yeah.
the NAB, it's going to be tight because I think Seattle probably going to get that at least one of those wild card spots how they've been playing. So they're really going to buy. There's really just one spot left, I think, for the team. So I think the Vikings are going to probably go all out against this Dolphins team. Dolphins, like I just said, I think it was a fluke. A hell of a play, and nice to have that win for bragging rights against the Patriots. But I think they're going to come back down to reality a little bit in Minnesota. Give me Minnesota Vikings. I'll say Minnesota. You know what? I'll say Minnesota 24. Dolphins 17.
All right. Now Minnesota, they have some damn good weapons. I mean, Kirk Cousins. Like the thing is, Kirk Cousins. I mean, I don't think that. Like I said, we talked about it earlier. We think that Case Keenum is a better fit for Minnesota than Kirk Cousins is. But Kirk Cousins has shown that he has, some knowledge. He has some know-how of what to do with the weapons that he was given. And Miami, I mean, like I said, they're coming off of a big win. Like I said, but I don't know if that's just them, or I don't know if that's they're good, they're that good, or if this just the Patriots made a mistake, because we've already mentioned that the Patriots. I don't know what it is, but it's just like the Dolphins just have their number when they're at home against the Patriots. Their defense, Miami's defense has, they can give Minnesota a little bit of a contest, but it seems like if Minnesota can get that running game going, then Miami, they don't stand a chance. It'll be they're going to run away with it, no pun intended. Minnesota's defense, I mean, their defense is their strongest point on defense is their linebackers. If they can get to Tannehill, then they can make it to where it's not even a close game. But I think it's going to be just a little bit of a close game just because of the contest they put up against with New England last week. But, I mean, still, give me Minnesota in this game by 6 points. 26-20, Vikings. Next up, we got the Washington Redskins going on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, even though Jacksonville got, destroyed by got destroyed by the Titans last week. Washington is a crippled team. They're down to their third string quarterback, and their defense is not looking that good either. Jacksonville, I mean, the thing is, all they had to rely on is Leonard Fournette in their running game. I don't know if Blake Bortles will be. I think Blake Bortles is going to sit again, which will be a huge ass mistake. But I mean, at this point, I don't really think it matters that much because neither one of the teams have really shown me that much. I'll probably watch the highlights of this game. Won't we watch this whole game, to be honest? But I mean, I got to pick someone. Go ahead and give me Jacksonville by 4 points over Washington. 24-20. Flip, what about you? Redskins or Jaguars?
Yeah, like you're saying, but it doesn't matter. Jacksonville plays their quarterback. This definitely looks like a low-scoring game where you see the running backs get 20-plus carries. Yeah, it might come down to pick sixes or something.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like either team can get a pick six. I want to lean towards Jacksonville just because Mark Sanchez is known to throw the pick six.
Yeah.
So let's say Jacksonville wins 13-7.
All right. Walter, what about you? You got Jacksonville or do you got Washington?
Yeah, the other team looked impressive last week. Both are fine. Both are playing with, lower tier quarterbacks right now, second, third string guys. Jacksonville is just a disappointing season. Fournette's had a pretty terrible year, both health and then just when he's playing, getting yelling, shouting matches with fans. It's just that team seems in disarray right now. Meanwhile, the Redskins still have some salvageable redeeming qualities player-wise. Peterson, Jordan Reed. I think the Redskins are still not as in shambles as the Jags are. The Jags are at home, but I think it's going to take a hell of a defensive game for the Jags to win this. And even so, I just can't see a scenario where I think the offense puts up 20 points. I think the Redskins still can at least get to 21. So give me Redskins. I'm going to do Redskins 21, Jacksonville 13.
Oh, all right then. Next up, and this is going to be a very, very interesting game. We got the Dallas Cowboys going on the road to Lucas Oil Stadium to face the Indianapolis Colts. Oh, man. Dallas is on a 4-game winning streak right now. 5-game winning streak? Yeah, they're on a winning streak right now.
5-game.
5-game winning streak?
5 games.
Yeah. And like I said, just think, a couple of weeks ago, people were petitioning to fire Jason Garrett and was ready to run Dak Prescott out of Dallas. But they've shown some life, and I think mainly it's because Ezekiel Elliott's been saving their bacon. And no, not just that. Dallas's defense has woke up. They have risen from the dead like the Undertaker, and they've done some work against all these teams. Indy is a tricky team, but the thing is, a lot of people sleep on Indy, and the thing is, the more you don't want to sleep on them, you don't want to sleep on a team like Indy because that's when they are the most dangerous. Andrew Luck, I mean, he's back. He got his second win, and even though I don't think that Dallas, I don't think Indy has better weapons than Dallas does. I think that by far that Luck is a better quarterback than Dak is. Man, and I think that Indy is actually well coached too. They might be better coached too. This one is going to be very, very close. Man. But go ahead and give me Indy in this game 28-27 over Dallas. Flip, what about you? Cowboys, Colts.
Man, I don't know. This is a pretty good game. I mean, the Eagles just let Dak throw 455 yards on them, so that's pretty crazy. Amari Cooper, he is the happiest person on earth right now.
Oh, yeah.
He went from looking like a bust to looking like a top 5 receiver all of a sudden. Against this Colts team, I felt like Dallas can put up points, but after watching that Eagles team just like have a blown what was it, the pass interference, and then it just went through it and scored anyway on them.
Yeah.
This Dallas defense can definitely give us points too, and I definitely trust Russ to get that ball out. I think he can get it out to Ebron, he can get it out to T.Y. Hilton. So I could definitely see him scoring some points on this Dallas defense. Marlon Mack's not a bad running back. But I just have faith in the Cowboys now. They've been on a roll. It seems like it's dumb to bet against them right now. He's having a great year. I think he's the rushing leader right now. Amari Cooper just revitalized this receiving, and Dak's actually playing well. He's playing kind of well, I'll say that. So, I mean, yeah, and mix that with the Cowboys defense can make some crucial plays on the stretch. I'm going to say the Cowboys win this game. I'm going to go 27-23.
All right. Okay, I'll buy that. What's the title for you got? Cowboys, Colts.
Yeah, this flip was about a point away from my prediction score. I'm gonna say Dallas outside field goal because Dallas 27, Colts 24. I just think that Dallas' season has been revitalized by the emergence of Amari Cooper, just the increased play and the game planning with Ezekiel Elliott. They've had some best plays in that Eagles game. Jason Garrett was definitely criticized heavily for some of his play calling, his conservative play calling early in the year, especially by Lawrence. But they had some best plays in that game against the Eagles. And this is, I think this potentially could be a game of the week. I just think it's very hard to say to make a case for the team. The Colts have been playing a pretty good season, despite the kind of, I think it kind of came out of nowhere. Andrew Luck again, still having a phenomenal year. They had a pretty big upset win against the Texans last week. Definitely made the case that they could win this game, but I think Dallas' defense will be a key in this game. They can stifle and limit, make them one-dimensional. I don't think Marlon Mack's going to really be a factor in the running game. I think Andrew Luck is going to have to be into the air and throw for 400-plus yards. It's possible. In that Eagles game, I think that the defense had some dumb penalties and led the Cowboys defense had some dumb penalties against the Eagles in that game to kind of lead them back. I think they kind of tightened things up and they're less sloppy in this game against the Colts. But I'm going to give the edge to the Cowboys. Again, 27, Colts 24.
All right. Next up, we got NFC West matchup. Seattle Seahawks going up against the San Francisco 49ers at home. Now, yeah, exactly. I think we all know where we're going to go with this prediction, don't we? Because, Lord have mercy, people. Like I said, sleeping on Seattle is dangerous. And last night, they proved that that's something that you don't want to do against them. San Francisco, they're already out of playoff contention, so they don't really have anything to play for. I mean, I think they might make it a little bit of a competitive game just for that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I think just with as good as Russell Wilson is with his legs and him, and as good as their running game is, they might very well just put their foot on San Francisco's necks. I mean, San Francisco, they got a lot of work to do in the offseason. They got a lot of holes they got to plug up. And it's got to start with their running game because the running game is not what it used to be. And they got to, work on their secondary too. Now, Seattle's secondary, I mean, it's not what it used to be, but still, it's more than enough to keep San Francisco's offense at bay. But go ahead and give me Seattle by 9 points over them. 30-21. Flip, what about you? Seahawks, 49ers. Who you got?
Look, man, it's King Kittle, man. King Kittle's going for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns this game. He's gonna keep the tight end record, and he's gonna beat Gronk's season record in one game.
Oh man, damn, crazy.
So look out for King Kittle, man. But to be honest, I don't see the 49ers winning this game. I did bet with them to beat the Broncos, but that was because the Broncos were looking a little shaky. The Seahawks team, they are definitely trying to get into the playoffs. They are definitely looking scary on defense right now, even without Sherman and the safety name. I forgot the name safety. Dude, sorry, let's call that. Aaron Campbell. So yeah, they have a little piece of the boom with Bobby Wagner. Like you were saying, Russ has been playing well. I think he's got a higher QBR for the year over Mahomes, which is kind of interesting. So there's that. Chris Carson, Rashad Penny, Mike Davis, that running team, running backfield is just they're good.
Yeah.
I don't like Matt Breida. Jeff Wilson is all right. I think he ran on the Seahawks last time for a pretty decent amount, so he could do it again. I just feel like the Seahawks team is gonna play them better this week. I'm going to say Seahawks win 54 to 17.
All right. Walls Todd, what about you? Seahawks, 49ers. Who you got?
Yeah, I love my 49ers, but they're getting smoked by the Seahawks. Russell Wilson's going to have a monster game like he did already earlier this season against us. Kittle's the only bright spot, only consistent player that San Francisco has. He's had a remarkable year. It's only his second year on pace for something like 1,300 yards. He is a remarkable player, and it's a remarkable story. But I just think the Seahawks, they're clicking on all cylinders. Defensively, they look terrific against Minnesota. They put up 40 points against us early in the year. I could definitely see a duplication of that. Give me, again, the Niners, we don't even have Breida right now. I think we're starting Jeff Wilson guy. It's just, we're down to the bare bones here. And they're playing on pure heart right now. There's talent diminished, lost tough zone. It's just, it's there in the cupboard for the San Francisco 49ers. So give me Seattle in this game. I'll say Seattle 37, because it's on the road. It's not in Seattle. So Seattle 37, Niners 17.
Wow. All right. All right. Anyway, next up, the rematch that we've all been waiting for, and it's kind of underwhelming now, seeing as how both teams lost last week. The Pittsburgh Steelers going against the New England Patriots at Heinz Field. I don't know what the hell the Pittsburgh Steelers' problem is, but it seems like in the past few weeks, they have gone from a potential second seed, first round bye, to being out of the playoffs altogether. And it's got to do with mistakes by the quarterback, bad coaching, and blown up, defensive plays. It doesn't make any sense how the Steelers have all this talent, and yet they still continue to make rookie mistakes. And the thing is, they're going up against in back-to-back weeks. They're going up against two of the most dangerous offenses and the most well-coached teams in the league. Against the New England Patriots, you have to play perfect football. You turn the ball over, you're done. Get any penalties, you're done. Any blown-up secondary coverages, you're done. Missed tackles, you're done. And New England is coming off of a loss to a division rival, so losses don't discourage New England. If anything, losses fired them up even more. Now, we all saw the debacle and the screw job that happened last year at Heinz Field with the whole Jesse James, was it a catch, was it not a catch thing. Now, the thing is, and both teams have the same weaknesses. They have high-powered offense, and they can put up a hell of a lot of points. So I wouldn't be surprised if the end result of this game was like 38-34, because the secondaries for both teams are weak. I think that New England's the secondary just might be a little bit stronger. But the only thing that saved Pittsburgh's defense is their front seven and their linebackers. If they can get to Tom Brady and disrupt the pass, then they got a chance. But this game is going to come down to penalties, going to come down to turnovers. Big Ben needs to not turn the ball over. I think for the past 2 games, Big Ben has turned the ball over at least once. And I think that having James Conner, I don't know if he's going to be active or he's going to be cleared to play next week, but it'll be a very it'll come in handy for him to play next week. Also, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they don't have an answer for Gronk. I don't know if they just need to double team Gronk and just let Edelman and Josh Gordon get off. But I mean, that's just something that they need to do. Oh man. It's going to hurt me to say this, especially since the Steelers need this win. But I think that the same thing is going to happen with the Steelers dropping the ball in the fourth quarter, and they're either going to get screwed over or they're going to flat out choke. We just can't solve the Rubik's Cube known as the New England Patriots. I'm giving me New England by 8 points over the Steelers. Wazatov, who you got? Patriots, Steelers at Heinz Field.
The Steelers are on the losing streak. Definitely some tough losses. It's got to end somewhere. They got to turn the ship somewhere or do that, because that schedule is horrendous. That schedule is scary to look at if you're a team that's trying to make playoffs. You're right. Both defenses leave a lot to be desired. I could see this being a high-scoring game. I don't think, again, Brady looks terrific, but I don't. This Patriots offense is as good as advertised. I still think it's still a little bit smoking there. I don't trust fully health-wise, and defensively they've been the worst they've been. They gave up almost 9 yards of play to Michael Johnson. I mean, the Pittsburgh offense alone is worth a lot more than just the Miami offense. And it's in Heinz Field. This is a revenge game for the Steelers. I think that after losing to the Raiders, you know what I mean, I expect them to come out a little bit harder. The Dolphins game, they always kind of go with sticky games in Miami.
Well, when was the last time that the Patriots lost 2 in a row? They haven't lost 2 in a row since 2007.
You're right, they haven't lost. I mean, it's been a while, but the Patriots again, that's the Patriots of old. But I still think that this organization is starting to shift a little bit. They're not the same organization they once were. They've lost to terrible teams this year.
Yeah.
And you're right. Maybe they stepped it up against a good team. And I think this is a game where everyone might expect the Steelers to possibly lose this game. But I think the Steelers come out and surprise everybody. And again, who knows? Maybe it comes down to a faulty play. We do know the rules have changed, so now it would be a touchdown per check the game. You don't have to worry about that shenanigans happening again in this one. I just think, it's gonna be a high-scoring game. It'll be in the 30s. It's just watch this game. This really should be the Sunday night game. I'd like to see that over. I would like to see that over the Philly game. But I'll say, I'll pick the Steelers. I like to see them win to right the ship a little bit and to give the Steeler Nation hope a little bit. Give me the Steelers 29, Patriots.
Wow. All right, Flip, who you got? Steelers, Patriots.
Oh man, I don't think James Conner is going to play this week.
Mm.
Well, that's really good for the Steelers because I know Ben's hurting after last game, physically and mentally. I mean, the Patriots are going to play him hard because the Patriots are battling with the Texans for that first round bye. The Steelers are kind of falling apart, man. I feel like Mike Tomlin is losing that locker. I feel like that Le'Veon Bell drama kind of, I don't know. I feel like it might have hurt the team. Mike Tomlin might be on the hot seat, man.
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
This might be a must-win game for that Steelers team. I don't think they can do it. I think it's going to be close because obviously the Patriots really don't have an answer for Antonio Brown and Juju.
Yeah. Juju's been playing out of his mind lately, by the way.
Yeah, he's playing really well. That's definitely a duo you guys need to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It's Bill Belichick, and he's done bad.
Yeah.
So I definitely see them the Patriots running clock. If you guys can't stop the run, I don't see the Steelers winning this because the Steelers have to get the ball in their hands to beat the Patriots team. Because I don't know, Tom Brady, he's not the Tom Brady of old. He can't go into shootout mode every game. So I feel like they're definitely going to run a clock. It might work against the Steelers team. So I'm betting on the Patriots this game. I'm going to say Patriots win 28-24.
All righty. Potential game of the week, too. And also, this is a potential game of the week. We got the Philadelphia Eagles going on the road against the LA Rams. Walter Top, who you got? Eagles, Rams.
Give me the Rams in this game. I think the Rams are going to be itching for a big blowout game, especially after coming up short against Chicago. Philly gave up 29 to Dallas Cowboys. The Rams got a lot more weapons. The Rams are going to be at home. It's going to be. I think they're going to rebound pretty well after this. Philly, on the other hand, I think offensively could maybe capitalize a little bit, but that was the best defense I've seen the Rams play last week in a little while. Even with doing this against Bishop Trubisky, I'll still maybe put Carson Wentz above that, but I still think Aaron Donald's going to be wrecking havoc. And they're just playing defensively pretty well. Give me the Rams in this, the rebound. I think they'll for a game to kind of reestablish themselves or reassert themselves as a potential, one or two seed in the NFC. I don't think they're going to slip up against the Eagles. I'll say Rams 27, Philly 7.
All righty. Flip, who you got? Eagles, Rams.
Philly should be a Rams game. They just ran all over this Eagles team. Look for barely do the exact same thing. They got Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods playing really well. Goff had a bad game, but you could definitely attribute that to weather and defense. I don't think that's going to be a problem with the Eagles game. The Eagles have a good offense. I just don't see them keeping up with the Rams. I'm going to say Rams win this. Like what I said in the bounce back game, 35-27.
I have this high scoring game too, and I think that Philly is they're not gonna play soft against them. They're not gonna do that whole clock management they've been doing the past two games. I think that they're gonna come in this game for a dogfight and try to punch them in the mouth. And it'll only make sense because, well, hopefully they watch that tape of Yeah, hopefully they watched last week's tape of when they lost last week. Hopefully, because it seems like they had the perfect strategy. But the thing is can the thing is with the type of defense that Philly plays, can they implement that same strategy that the Rams lost to? Um, I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to do it. I mean, Carson Wentz, he can score points, of course. But the thing is, he's been kind of, I don't know if y'all noticed, but Carson Wentz has been kind of, he's not been himself in the past couple days. He's been kind of on the slow end lately. And the thing is, even if he wins, he's just scraping out games. And you can't do that against a high powered team like the Rams. And Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh are going to be trying to eat him alive. They're going to try to eat Carson Wentz alive. So they're going to need to heavily rely on the running game to get some of that pressure over Carson Wentz. So yeah, and Jared Goff, all that man really needs to do is just air it out, and one of his receivers will go up and get it. I mean, it doesn't even matter because the secondary is kind of the Eagles secondary is kind of slow lately. But going ahead and give me the Rams in this game by 10 points, 34-24 over the Eagles. Last game, we got a NFC South divisional matchup between the ever hot New Orleans Saints going on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Carolina Panthers, they were another team who looked, pretty dangerous earlier on in the season, and they've been on somewhat of a losing streak too. And I don't know what the heck is going on with them, but Cam Newton needs to get it together. Their defense is always good. I mean, with Luke Kuechly and company, and their front seven is always pretty good. It's just that it's blown coverages in the secondary that always gets them. They always get burnt. Cam Newton, he's not gonna need to be on his A game. He's gonna need to be on his A+ game and not turn the ball over at all. You can't. This is another team that you can't make any mistakes over. But as far as the thing is with the New Orleans Saints, if you ask me, their greatest strength is also their biggest weakness, which the Dallas Cowboys demonstrated. The best way to stop Drew Brees from scoring is to keep the ball out of his hands for as long as possible, which means you need to slow grind the game. You need to, keep the ball on the ground, and keep that clock running as much as possible. And with a running back like Christian McCaffrey, that is definitely possible. But I don't know if they'll be able to do it all 60 minutes against a team like New Orleans, because against New Orleans, they like to start fast, they like to score quick. And the thing is, they haven't Panthers have not been good at playing from behind recently. It seems like if they're down for more than 14 points, they lose. And before you know it, by the end of the first quarter, New Orleans could be up 17-0. But I think it might be just a little bit more of a game, seeing as how Carolina, they're still fighting for that 6th seed, and they have a little more to play for. But I just don't think they're going to do it in this game. So go on ahead and give me New Orleans in this game, 31-24 over the Panthers. Flip, who you got? Panthers, Saints.
This is definitely a Saints game. I don't know what's up with Cam. I think he's still hurt. I feel like that shoulder's still affected. I don't know. Devin Funchess might still be hurt. He's not really playing that much in these last couple of games. It looks like they're kind of going Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore. Like you're saying, Christian McCaffrey's playing really well. I can definitely see the Saints trying to take that weapon away from Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They might not fear him running just because he's banged up. I think they might dare him to throw this game, because it definitely seems like a game where the Saints are just going to kind of run away with it. And they can lock down with Marcus Lattimore. I feel like when the Saints get ahead, their defense plays really well, keep the lead for the Saints. So I can definitely see that happening in this game. And they're definitely battling with the Rams still for home field advantage. So yeah, I could see Saints running away with this one. I'm gonna say Saints win 31-21.
All right. Walter Top, who you got? Saints, Panthers.
Yeah, I think this is the hat trick. I think this is a Saints game. The Saints definitely looked a little shaky that first half against Tampa, but they righted the ship, but then ended up, beating up by 2 touchdowns. So I think Saints are going to play a much cleaner game against the Carolina Panthers. It's a divisional game. Draw is tricky. The underdog in a divisional game can sometimes, catch the favorites, catch the favorites sleeping. They know that they know what the Saints are about. They know what the Saints are going to do. There's just too many options for Breeze, whether it's the Saints attacking them on the ground or through the air. I don't think that even with the Swiss Army knife that is McCaffrey, I don't think that again, I don't think they're gonna do much or be able to keep up with the Saints. The Saints I think they pretty much hold their fate in terms of they win out. I think they'll have the number 1 seed by default. So give me the Saints in this. I think they're gonna want to close up shop and maybe kind of maybe redeem Breeze's chances of maybe getting that MVP this year. I think it's a 2-man race at this point, but give me New Orleans in this game. I'll say high scoring at least for New Orleans. I'll say New Orleans 28. I'll say Cam and the Panthers 20.
All right, fellas. That'll do it for our predictions. Now let's just have a quick look at the playoff picture. Now the AFC playoff picture is going to be very, very tricky because I think that the Chiefs probably have first seed all but locked up. But see, here's something that's strange. The whole landscape could change if the Steelers beat the Patriots because there'll be a game over them, and because the Patriots beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs beat the Steelers, and it'll make it a whole different. It'll make it a whole different ball game if the Steelers just somehow happen to beat the Patriots. And also, let's say the Steelers beat the Ravens. They tied with the Ravens. They lost to the Chargers. The thing is, if the Steelers beat the Patriots, that could actually bump the Chargers up a seed, which could be good for them. Well, actually, you know what? Never mind, because they hold the fifth seed, and the Steelers only have the 4th seed just because they're first in the AFC North. But yeah, it could be a whole bunch of weird things that happen. Yeah, they could bump the Texans up, definitely. The Texans, now here I'm looking at the Texans right now. The Texans got to win out, and the Patriots have got to drop 2 of the next 3 for them to get that 2nd seed. That 2nd seed is going to be tricky because anybody can get it. Hell, if the Steelers win out and the Chiefs lose 2 and the Patriots lose 2, they can get the 2nd seed. If the Chargers win out, it's the same. Basically, if you're between the 3rd and the 5th seed, you need the Chiefs and the Patriots to lose 2 of the 3, and you need to win out, which is very possible for both teams. Now, for the NFC, I guess it's a little bit. If you ask me, the bottom 2 seeds are probably the most dangerous. Like the Seahawks and the Cowboys might be the most dangerous. Well, actually, the Seahawks are the 4th. The Cowboys are the 4th seed right now. But the NFC West is all but locked up. But then, like I said, that's the only reason why the Seahawks got the 5th seed right now. The Vikings, it could be a whole bunch of things that change with that 5th seed because with that last seed, because the Vikings are 6-6-1. That's not exactly the spot that you want to be in because anything can happen. If you lose, if you're in the spot to where you lose another game, you're pretty much done. Especially if people in your division or if those other 2 wild card seeds who are in the hunt, the Panthers. Because right now the Panthers and the Eagles are tied right now with 6 and 7. They're 6 and 7 right now, and that's not exactly a spot that you really want to be in. Now the wild card picture in the AFC is a little bit. Right now you have the Colts at 7th seed. You got the Titans and the Dolphins tied for 8th seed. You got the Broncos at the 9th seed, and you got the Browns at the 10th seed right now. But the Browns have to win out for them to get the 6th seed. But yeah, it's a whole bunch of tricky. It's like I said, with 3 weeks, with this season being 3/4 of the way over, it's a whole bunch that can happen. But yeah, Walter, what are your thoughts on the current state of the AFC and NFC playoff pictures and the tie-breaking scenarios?
again, I think the NFC is locked up. I think the AFC is a little more interesting as you look at the last spot. With Pittsburgh, I still trust Pittsburgh to at least be 5 at worst. So I think that last seed is definitely up for grabs between a bunch of teams, obviously. Ravens, Colts, Miami, Tennessee. I think the AFC is definitely a crapshoot for that 6th seed.
Yeah.
I think the way Baltimore defensively has been playing, I trust them. I don't trust them to excel well in terms of I can't really say if Flacco comes back, great. They definitely have a shot. Maybe in advancing just because Flacco performed well in the playoffs. And it'd be kind of cool to see if Kansas City and Los Angeles can both get the 1 and 2 seed. I don't think have any pair of division teams ever both shared the bye? I don't think it ever happened.
Not in recent memory, not that I can think of. No.
Yeah, I can't think of two teams in the same division both having the 1 and 2 seed. That's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. But it's going to come down to conference wins. It's going to come down to whoever. If let's just say if both teams face the same opponent, it's going to come down to who had the tiebreaker over them.
And for the NFC, I think the NFC is locked up. I think I guess you could argue maybe Carolina maybe comes up. I think maybe Minnesota's schedule is a little bit easier. I think Minnesota might sneak out that 50. It just feels like in Minnesota, I think will get that spot. So I think it's going to suck for either Chicago or Dallas. Whoever you expect in that 4th team has to play Seattle. Even at home, it's going to be scary for them.
Yeah, very.
If it ends up being Dallas, it's going to be rough. If it ends up being Chicago, I still think it's going to be tough. I don't think no one wants to face the Seahawks in the 1st round.
No.
And then,
especially at home.
And then you're in an interesting position. I think you're almost better off. I think you might be better off being the 2 seed then. And I'll say this: I think you might be better off being the 2 seed in the NFC, and kind of avoid having to possibly play Seattle.
Yeah.
I think that's if I'm imagining how the brackets work. Whatever team can avoid that, I think that's how it works. But when it comes down to it, I trust only the top 3 seeds realistically in the AFC to win the Super Bowl. The Kansas, Los Angeles Chargers, and Patriots. I think that's the top. I think those 3 teams are those teams in the AFC that I trust to win the Super Bowl. I don't trust any other team just based on how they perform, just based on how the season turned out. Those 3 teams, realistically, the top 2, the New England, I'd throw in there for some reputation.
Yeah.
In the NFC, it's a little more dicey because I could almost see like the way Chicago and Dallas have been playing and the way Seattle's been playing.
Yeah.
I could see either one of those teams just getting hot because they all have good defenses. They all can they can all can run the ball or do stuff with their running back. I think the NFC is definitely more likely to throw out a wild card. Maybe give them a 5 or 6 game in there versus the AFC. So I think the AFC is pretty much a lock with who we're going to see in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
The NFC could be a crapshoot. I'm telling you right now.
Definitely. Wazatov, your thoughts on this playoff picture? First the AFC, then the NFC.
Flip.
Yeah.
Kind of talking.
Yeah, flip. Yeah. Yeah, flip, your thoughts.
Oh, sure. Waz just gave a full breakdown. I agree with everything Waz said. Let's move on.
I didn't mean to take your time, Flip.
What's that?
I didn't mean to take your words out of your mouth.
Yeah.
That's what I said, man, because you said that the Chargers are Super Bowl favorites, so I'm all for everything you said.
Oh.
I think the I think the top three AFC teams, it's going to be one of those three coming out of the AFC. I don't trust the Houston, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, any team below them. That's not going to mean a difference.
But see, here's the thing: the 3 seed and the 5th seed have to face each other, and then the winner of the 3 seed and the 1st seed have to face the winner of the 3 seed and 5th seed have to face the 1st seed, and then the winner of the 2 seed and the 4th seed, the winner of the 2 seed and the 6th seed have to face the 2nd seed. I mean, now the winner of the 4th and 6th have to face the 2nd seed in the AFC. So if it were standing right now, it would be let's see, the 5th seed going up against the 3rd seed. It would be Chargers. Chargers versus Texans, with the Texans being at home, and it would be Steelers, Ravens with the Steelers at home. And the winner of the Steelers-Ravens game would have to go up against the Patriots, and the winner of the Texans-Chargers games would have to go up against the Chiefs at home. Yeah.
The Ravens against the Patriots. The Ravens to the Patriots. That's interesting. Because the Ravens definitely have the Patriots number.
Yeah, they can beat them defensively. It's just that, like I said, but in the playoffs, Ravens-Steelers games are always 50-50. You never know what's going to happen, even if the Steelers are at home. Now, for the NFC, it would be the Seahawks going up against the Bears, and the Seahawks would have to face the Bears at home. And then it would be the Cowboys going up against the Vikings, and the Cowboys would be at home. And the winner of the Cowboys-Vikings game would have to go up against the Rams at home, and the winner of the Bears-Seahawks game would have to go up against the Saints at home. Now, the most interesting game to me in the playoffs would be the Seahawks and the Saints. Woo! That game will be very, very interesting.
I can see the Rams and the Saints both being eliminated if the Seahawks and the Cowboys or even the Bears make it to that second round. The AFC, it looks like it could happen, but the NFC, it just feels like any of those 6 teams could make it to that championship.
Absolutely.
Or to that Super Bowl.
Absolutely. But I think the Vikings. I think Walter is right about the Vikings falling off and the Panthers getting that 6th seed. Or even the Eagles.
I can definitely see the Vikings falling off.
Yeah.
I agree with Flip. I could definitely see a scenario where neither New Orleans or the Rams make the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Just because Chicago, Dallas, Seattle, they're all good defenses. We already saw what Chicago did to the Rams. I could definitely see that happening. We already saw what Dallas did to the Saints.
Yeah.
So it's only defenses only shine better in the playoffs typically. So I could definitely see it happening. I just don't see it happening in the AFC. I think the AFC is going to be kind of a chalk year thing.
Yeah. Well, fellas,
I'm gonna have to say though, before you say something, the Rams having home field advantage, that could really factor in. I feel like that weather was a big factor in that Rams-Bears game. I feel like the Rams having home field advantage, at least into the NFC Championship, that might help take that for them.
Yeah. Well, you fellas got anything you want to add before we sign out tonight?
Hope the Chiefs lose.
Yeah.
Hoping for weeks, but hope this is the week.
Like I said, if they lose, if the Chiefs and the Patriots both lose, that is going to make things in the AFC very, very interesting. That's going to bump the 3 seed and the 4 seed up. So yeah.
Yeah, the AFC is. I don't know.
Man. Yeah,
I don't even know who's going to get the 2nd seed at this point.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know who's getting the 1st.
Yeah. Because what's the likelihood that the Patriots lose out? It's not likely, but the thing is, we'll see. But yeah, Walter Top, you got any final thoughts before we sign out, brother?
No problem, Bob. I think it's going to be a good, another good week of football. May your respective teams win. Obviously, you guys are vying for more important things like playoff position and such.
Yeah.
Than my San Francisco 49ers. But
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I'm rooting for the Steelers. Obviously, if the Steelers lose, it's going to be very uninteresting for the playoff picture. But if they win, it will definitely make things more dicey.
Yeah.
And obviously, if the Chargers win, it's gonna make it again more dicey. It's gonna make it more interesting.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, that'll do it for Week 15's episode of this podcast. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, Flip Walter, I thank my buddies for co-hosting the show with me. I appreciate you guys.
No problem, man. Thanks for having us on, man.
All right, no problem. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.